All right, my man. State your name. Let them know you on Real Talk with Nick.
My name is Kevin Williams. I played in the NBA for 6 years, and I'm here kicking the spiel with Nick. We're going to shake it up. We're going to throw it out.
And it's going to be head
a
crack.
head
See
crack
love,
today,
baby. Listen, I'm going to get right into it. My
Yes,
boy,
sir.
Jericho Sims, they gave him a deal worth $6 million.
2 to 3 years, $6 million.
I mean,
I heard it's all guaranteed, too. So
it's all guaranteed, man.
we got him. Good backup.
Good backup
Good
for Mitch.
Footwork, great defender, mobile, can run. So, I mean, he's formidable, and he's ready. So,
And he's ready.
I just hope,
Do you think he's played good enough to keep Mitch on his heels?
Yeah. I think he's good enough to take Mitch to the next level. I think he's good enough, him and Mitch competing, where Mitchell will make progress as far as in his development.
Okay.
Okay, but he's going to be retarded because we're going to have Hardleston in here. Okay, and he's, like I said, he's better come in there ready to play because, you retarding some good players' development. So we'll see. Because they always give you this great press and all that. But like I said, the regular season counts for nothing. It's the playoffs, man.
It's the
we'll
playoffs.
See when the playoffs get in. That's
okay,
it.
all right.
Yeah.
And we got my boy McBride, who's still in the G League.
Love Deuce McBride, man. He's ready now. It's like you got to give these guys their opportunity to make their forward progression, man. If you keep retarding their development by doing these bonehead moves, then hey, you ain't gonna have no bench, man. And you ain't gonna have no bench that's gonna come in and be effective when you got injured players because of this retardation you're doing. You understand? Retarding Obi's development, you're getting ready to retard Jericho Sims' development, and you're playing favorites. And just like my nephew over there in Oregon State went to the best players better play, man. Here, I'm just saying.
Right.
Politics is what destroyed the Knicks the last 51 years, man.
Damn. Politics.
That's the truth, man.
All right.
It's politics that even destroyed this country, man.
Okay.
Look at it, man.
Okay.
You gotta be fair and equal in our dealing, man. This favorites you doing, and 10-man Thibodeau be favoring Randall at the cost of the expense of the rest of the team. And everybody knows that.
Why you call that man 10
Because he
man?
ain't got no brain. How you gonna play 7 dudes and you got a bunch of young guys on the bench ready to play? How you think they get developed? You develop them by putting them in the game. And they when they make mistakes, you say, okay, you learn from the mistakes by going over the mistakes and make sure this is what you do to make sure you don't do that.
Right.
That's coaching. Not I'm gonna bury you, like what he did to Kimba. There's a lot of glaring things about Thibodeau I didn't like, man. His substitution pattern, Randall losing the ball and you ain't pulling him out the game and telling him, stop handling the ball and give it to the ball handler.
Do you think the reason for that is because I believe Tom Thibodeau got into it with another player in the past?
Let me tell you something where that come from. That come from Dolan, because he was the only one willing enough to sign that deal. Dolan was looking for a star. Nobody wanted to play for him but Randall. So he's gonna. That's my favorite guy because he took my deal. So I gotta be with him all the way, and that's all that is.
That's all that is.
That's all that is.
Okay,
like
man.
I said, when the owners do that, general manager and the coach, they fall in line because that's who's signing their check.
All right. Moving right along, man. Your boy Mitch. Now, you said that the Knicks better have paid Mitch.
Yeah, they paid him now.
They paid him $60 million.
And Mitch, you better get ready. You hear me? You better get ready. You better start watching film. You better start watching what you got to do to keep yourself in the game. You better know when to be aggressive on defense and when to be playing your poker face. You understand? So that you can stay in the game. The object this year is to stay in the game, Mitch. That's what the object is.
You don't think he improved with that? I mean, because it looked like he got
the season started. Because I thought he was making improvements toward the end of the season.
Right.
But the way Thibodeau was yo-yoing guys in and out, it was kind of hard to make that evaluation. I know I was happy he gave Obi the start. I got a chance to look at my boy. And certain things that I saw that he's going to have to utilize, he's going to have to implement with this offense if it's going to be successful.
Oh, Mitch, right?
No, 10-man Thibodeau. He got to use his brain to implement Obi, to implement Mitch, to implement Jericho. He can't go 7 to 8 players. He got to go 10. He got to go 10, 11 deep, man. He got a lot of good players.
I interviewed somebody, right?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, the last interview I had before this one, and someone was expressing the same thing, like Tom Thibodeau is not good when we speak of rotation plays,
Yeah.
and how R.J. Barrett got hurt in the game that the Knicks didn't even. We was up.
Right, because he keeps, let me tell you what he does. When the Knicks get these big leads, instead of him saying, okay, we up 30, let me put Deuce in the mid. Let me put the hungry guys in C. This is how you get guys to make their forward progression and their development. You got to give them time. No, he don't do that. He sits them on the bench and play his starters when he should have sat them on the bench. And that's when people get injured. And that's how Derrick Rose got injured, because you're burning your players out, man. And you're not preparing them for the playoffs. But, you know, like, let me say this. I remember Magic Johnson told me this. They lost in '88 to the Detroit Pistons because Pat Riley was holding 2.5 hour shoot-around. And you haven't practiced and shoot-arounds causing them to get injured. And you lost the game. So Pat Riley had to reevaluate. See, Pat Riley, one of them hard-nosed coaches that believes that if you're always in shape, but sometimes you got to get rest, man. And he didn't regulate the rest, and that caused Byron Scott to have a hamstring pull, Magic Johnson had a hamstring pull, and that's when Detroit won that. Or they would have lost if Magic Johnson would have pulled his hamstring.
Okay.
That's
So now that you assess the problem, when we speak of Tom Thibodeau,
right.
How can he make adjustments? What he need to do?
He's going to have to give the younger guys more of a role as far as giving them more playing time. Okay? It's like when you had Derrick Rose, you shouldn't have been playing him them veteran minutes knowing that he's old. You should have gave him 28 minutes. And then let the younger guys get the rest because the younger guys got to develop. Derrick Rose is old. He could still be effective with 28 to 30 minutes. Give 18 minutes to somebody else to see how they can develop. When you start just saying, I'm going to play these old guys 39, 40 minutes, I guarantee you they're going to get injured. Especially how many games you're playing in the NBA, and it happened. It happened, and it's been happening. So now we're younger now, and, you know, they talking about they're going to bring Taj Gibson back. And, you know, he's a diehard knucklehead, man, with his old players, man. They waived Derrick Rose from Milwaukee. I guarantee you Thibodeau will take him. I bet my money.
Now, I want to move on, man. It was a lot of talk, if we speak of the Knicks, about Tom Thibodeau not being the right coach. Like, he's put too much emphasis on the vets.
Right.
But I found something interesting, that the Knicks let a lot of vets go. They let Kemba go. They let Alex Burke go.
Why? Why did they let them go? Because they're not part of their core. You understand? They're not part of their core. They're part of their bench core. And the bench always evolved, but the core always stayed the same. Okay? Derrick Rose got hurt. That was part of their core. Now they had to replace that. Now they got Jalen Brunson, R.J. Barrett, and Randall. And they need a fourth guy. And it's not going. They're going to have a problem getting them.
Why you say that?
Because of the salary cap.
Now, speaking of salary cap, when they went and got Brunson,
they went over it. When they went and got Brunson and got Zion Mitchell Robinson, they went over it. That's $170 million right there. Take $78 million contract. That's $248 million. And Randall's 119. That puts you 400 and something million over the cap, man. You gonna be luxury taxed the hell out of here. So now they gotta make a trade. They talking about getting rid of Randall and Cam Newton. That'll free up a lot. But they're gonna have to trade somebody in order to bring in that guy that we talking about, that fourth guy. And it makes sense. You should have not gave Jalen Brunson all that money, man. I didn't get that, man.
They gave him $104 million.
Making $25 million a year, man. 25, 26, 27, 28.
And never been an all-star.
Not at all, man. I'm like, dude, he wasn't even really handling the ball in Dallas. Luka Doncic was handling the rock. And that's what I'm saying. You putting him as he's this great point guard. Dude, it's easy when you got another dude kicking you the ball, man. You ain't got that here in New York. You're going to be exposed, man. I'm telling you, man. You're going to see what I'm talking about.
So who's going to expose Brunson?
Marcus Smart, Jrue Holiday. Man, there's a whole bunch of dudes going to expose them in the East, man. I'm telling you. You crazy? You see how, yo, listen, Philly. Yo, man, only team I see them doing well against is Brooklyn. And that's because maybe, Kevin might want to play. I don't know.
He talking about Phoenix, but that's good for them.
They ain't trading Kevin, man. You gotta give up the whole team to get Kevin. Let me tell you something. There's some guys that's not tradable, either because you overpaid like Randall, or you too good like Kevin Durant. People gonna ask for their starting 5 picks and something else. Ain't nobody gonna give up. And Kevin Durant is 30-something, 36 years old. We gonna give up the whole store for 4 years of play? Oh, that's not a risk. That's a bad risk, man. And general managers know that. You might get a desperate team willing to do that, but he's not gonna win no championship in that situation.
Okay. Now, my boy Derrick Rose, who you say is just as good as Jalen Brunson, if it wasn't for the fact he came somewhat like an injury-prone player.
Man, if Derrick Rose wouldn't have got injured, I guarantee you they wouldn't even have got Jalen Brunson, because y'all would have went to the playoffs. You understand? And once you would have went to the playoffs, he would have probably did a little better. Y'all might have got eliminated second round. But y'all be looking good this year. But he got hurt, man. And Quigley wasn't ready. And, like he going to have to play this year. I'm telling you.
Quickly, right?
Yeah, man. Because if you think Jalen Brunson can guard Marcus Smart, and they switch off and put the other guy, number 7, that Jalen Brown, he handles the ball too. If you think that Jalen Brunson can stop Jalen Brown on the box, you out of your goddamn mind. He can't guard Marcus Smart on the box either.
Have you seen it?
I know it.
Look, we ain't talking about your feelings, man. We talking about
a fact.
Receipts.
Dude, I'm talking about when Marcus Smart gets Jalen Brunson on that box, I guarantee he's going to take him straight up. If Jrue Holiday get Jalen Brunson on that box, he's going to take him. I'm telling you. He's too little. He only 5'10". Jrue Holiday 6'4". Marcus Smart 6'5". Ain't no way they not jumping over him. He's not that athletic, man. Reality, he's a liability on defense. I'm telling you. You will see. And when we do this next year, I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
Nah, I need you to speak, baby.
I'm not gonna say that.
I need you to speak. And you can always say, I told you so.
Basketball, man. And I know when y'all look at what y'all did with Randall. Now y'all gonna honestly tell me that Randall's worth all that money y'all gave him? Really? Y'all really think Randall is overpaid? And to prove it, y'all can't trade him. That's why he's still here. After giving Jalen Brunson all that money, they're forced to trade him, man. They got to get rid of him in order to get the money to get that next player. They got to get rid of him. They got to get rid of some pieces in order to bring that 4th guy. That's what's missing. Everybody knows it. So, and they got to get rid of Randall. And they're cool.
But do you think that'd be a smart move, though, to get rid of Randall?
They're trying to get rid of him. Nobody wants him. They just get $30 million. Who's going to pay this dude? A 3rd-tier stringer dude. You ain't coming, no. You only can play here, Randall. You ain't going to be playing nowhere else doing that crazy crap you be doing here, man.
So what you think we going to expect from Randall, man? Do you think he's going to...
Man, if Randall don't take note of what I'm saying, stop going ball crazy, dribbling the ball. You're not a point guard. Catch the rebound, give the ball to the point guard, and get in one of them wings and run your fat ass as far as you can get to that basket. See if you can get the ball back.
Okay, but when you got a point guard like Jalen Brunson...
You should be able to do that. I know if I was his forward, it's like when I looked at the guy in Indiana. I like the dude that was going to trade Randall for. 6'11", a long 4, I forgot his name. But he played for Indiana. Grades in his head. Shooter. I seen him get the ball, dribble it, stop, and get the ball to this point guard. Because he's not sure to dribble it up. And he saw 3 guys getting ready to trap him, so he turned to give it to the big man. Then ran past the 3 guys that was going to trap him and got a layup. That's smart basketball. That's knowing that a pass can move quicker than a nigga dribbling. Like I said, when you get stuck, because Randall, you lose the ball. I was watching film on Randall. Let me tell you, I was watching them playing against the Sixers. He dribbled so blindly that Hard came up behind him and tapped him over behind him. and got a fast break. He's not supposed to be handling the ball on the front court. Take your ass down in the box, man, close to the basket, man. That's why the Knicks turn the ball over in the front court, because it's in this man's hand. And you know I'm telling the truth, man.
So do you think that change is going to be made now that we got a bona fide point guard? You might not feel he's worth the money they throwing at him, but can Jalen Brunson, in your opinion, play well enough to keep Julius Randle from acting like a point forward? Do we have an official point guard in Jalen Brunson?
I can't answer that. I know Jalen Brunson is tough enough and has a basketball IQ to run Thibodeau's offense to the best of it can be ran. I'm going to give him that one. As far as the nuances and how you deviate, because people will know how to play it and get them off kilter, because one thing about defense has a way of having you to make adjustments in your offense. I think Jalen would have to be a penetrator and a kicker. And he can do that. Now, as far as when Randle have the ball and the isolation plays Thibodeau be given, that's going to be a problem, because that's going to cost them the game like it cost us this year. He gives Randle isolation plays, and for what reason, I do not know.
Do you think this is Tom Thibodeau's season to prove he's the guy for the Knicks, man? We had a bunch of coaches, man.
You know, looking at the brain trust and looking at the owner and how he likes these guys and how they deceiving us with the bullshit they doing, I would give them 2 or 3 more years before they get rid of them, because we gotta see how Jalen Brunson turns out. You can't give him just 1 year. You know, that doesn't work like that. And I'm a smart man like that. I say, giving Jalen Brunson credit, y'all will get to the first round. After that, it's a toss-up. Y'all gonna be 8th or not? Y'all gonna be 8th or 7th in the East this year.
Get out of here.
Y'all ain't gonna be.
Come on, man.
5.
Come on. If we was 4th seed,
y'all ain't gonna be that.
If we was 4th seed just last year without a point guard,
Charlotte got better. That's y'all gave your fucking. Yo, man, y'all gave Charlotte your picks. Y'all gave them the people y'all should have had on your bench.
Name them.
Jalen Duren. Y'all gave them Jalen Duren, and AJ Griffin is on their team now. You gave them both of them.
And them 2 players you mentioned, how would they have opened up the floor for the Knicks?
It's not a matter of them opening up the floor for the Knicks. It's a matter of them being a part of the development process, man. I'm not looking with those 2 pieces. I would more be looking to develop AJ Griffin and have Duren learn the NBA from Jericho and Mitchell, because it's a learning curve they got to go through. But I'm throwing AJ to the fire because he's bigger and he's stronger and he can be utilized better in the system. That's all I'm saying. I know what I'm talking about, but you know, I'm not, like I said, I'm not them.
All right. Now I want to move right along to Emmanuel quickly, man, who some say should become the 6th man of the year this upcoming season, man. Because this game is elevating. Do you see that? Or do you see...
I hope that Emmanuel quickly does well, because there's a lot of pressure on him. And I'm sure he's not happy about him having to come off the bench this year.
Why you say that?
Like I said, man, you know, guys work hard to become starters, man, in this league, man. And, you know, these idiot brain trust guys don't even give them a chance to really show. But they all hog wild over this dude, Jalen Brunson. Let me tell you something, man. A general manager cannot be an agent in the NBA, man. That's too much of a conflict of interest, man. How could you be running a team and you got players, man? The thing is, anybody gonna think I'm gonna take my players and put it on my team.
Speaking of that, right? The signing of Jalen Brunson. Did you hear that the Knicks got caught up in some kind of scandal?
Yeah.
That they did. They was bidding for him before they were supposed to.
Ahead of the deadline. In other words, you're going behind closed doors and saying how much we gonna give them before it's legally right to do so. You have time constraints in these type of things. That's why they said we can't do any trade talks to July 1st. Y'all doing this shit June 27th. Y'all talking about what y'all gonna do. Y'all done hired his father. The general manager is the goddamn agent. I mean, like, I don't get that, man.
Wow.
Like, you being a promoter and the manager at the same time.
Wow.
You can't do it, man. That's exactly what's going on here.
Okay. Now I want to talk about my man, OB.
My boy.
What's going to happen with OB? Is he going to have the year, the breakthrough year that's going to put him in the starting five?
He's not going to have that breakthrough year because of them going to be catering to Rand. And like I said, they're not going to play OB at the 3, and they're not going to play Randall at the 3. They're going to. This is retarding his development. I don't care what nobody says.
So you don't see nothing spectacular coming from Obi this season?
I see this year they're giving him a little bit more time, but not much more than they gave him last year. And he's gonna become frustrated at that. I guarantee you that.
So are you saying to me that Obi's gonna ask for a trade eventually? Depending on how the season panned out.
This, if they don't get rid of Randall, I can honestly say that because anyway, somebody will want him anyway. He's that good of a player, and the Knicks are just stupid. They don't know, they don't know what they're doing. Just like what they did at draft night. Nobody can tell me that what they did at draft night to just get a second tier point guard, you did all of that just to get that. You an idiot, man. I would have never did that.
So you would have grabbed up Osman Dane, the 11th pick, the French.
11th pick, I would have got Jalen Brunson, Damian Williams. I would have. First of all, my pick at 11 was Johnny Davis. Washington snatched him up right before me. I got to use my contingency plan. Let's address my point guard issue because it's a point guard issue here today. So let me get an insurance policy. Or let me get a center that'll back Mitch up, even though I got an adequate one. Mitch could get injured, and then Jericho got to go out there. I got to have a backup for him. You always got these contingency plans. Ain't nobody not thinking ain't nobody going to get injured, man. Okay, so that's how I think, man. And a lot of coaches don't think like that. Like 10-man Thibodeau, he don't think like that. Because if he did, he knew he wouldn't have got Jalen Brunson and mess up your salary cap like that. Now, unless you move these unmovable pieces, you won't be able to get a top-tier player because you got all of these big-time contracts and these third-tier players, man. You can't trade them, and you can't bring nobody here because of the salary.
Damn.
I'm telling the truth here, man.
Damn. Y'all hearing it from Mr. Kevin Williams, y'all. Breaking it down where he think it's going to go down with these Knicks, man.
I'm breaking it down to you from an administrative standpoint, and that's the game within the game. Everybody want to look at these players, and they don't know that these players are going to be moved in order for them to bring who they want to bring in. Yeah, they talking about trading Cam. Cam ain't even played, but y'all going to move him. We already know y'all can't move Randall, but y'all been trying to move him.
Some think he gonna be traded off like in the mid-season.
Maybe not. I don't know. This is what I heard. This is coming from reliable sources. They're gonna give Randall every opportunity, as far as the minutes, for him to play very well, get his stats up and his numbers up, so that they can say, look, and trade him. That's what they're hoping for. If Randall comes out and fucks up, they're going to bench him and play over.
And that'll be a good look.
Yeah, but like I said, he'll be there until they can move him.
All right, and the new signee, Trevor Kill, the shooting guard.
A shooting guard that can't shoot. The forward. They shoot that well in college either. I don't know why the Knicks did that. We'll see.
So for all that, man, the way you talking, man, they should never have got rid of Kemba Walker, man. Were you glad to see Kemba go?
They could have just bought Kemba out. Let me say this. Why would you trade him and then send $6 million when I would have just said, here, Kemba, here's 8, see you later. And I'd have kept I wouldn't have to do all of that. It's stupid, man. Like I said, man, that's the Knicks.
And this is my man Kevin Williams on Real Talk with Nick, man. I want to thank the OG
Hey, Nick,
for
I love
taking
you,
the
man.
time out, man.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I always take time to talk with Nick. I know a lot of people don't like what I'm saying, but you ain't gonna like the way the season come out this year.
Oh,
Harlem forever, baby.
and we out. Peace.